what's up, everybody? It's Greg J. Coffee Conversations with Greg J. is on live from Accra, Ghana. Yeah, out here in the courtyard of our apartment building. Pool is to my right, front office is over there to my left, and you see the beautiful grounds of where we are. Accra, Ghana, live from Ghana, speaking to you. Coffee Conversations with Greg J. Over the last couple of years, the cry has been amplified for our people. A lot of us have been talking about, should we expatriate to Ghana? 2019, the nation of Ghana extended the year of return where they wanted African Americans to come home to Ghana, to West Africa. Generally speaking, we are somebody in our bloodline has come from this region of Africa, maybe not the nation of Ghana, but you got Benin, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, Mali, Senegal, Angola, all of these nations along the West Coast. Someone in our bloodline originated in that area and survived the Middle Passage to make it to the Americas. And, there it is, American descendants of slaves. The nation of Ghana in 2019 proclaimed a year of return. Lots of people came. I'm talking Steve Harvey, Oprah, professional athletes, stars, celebrities came here to Ghana to see what's going on. They offered dual citizenship to Americans, African Americans, American descendants of slaves, because they felt like, we could come back to the continent with our skills and help grow. The economies grow, the societies grow, the business sectors of West Africa, particularly in Ghana. You could see Ghana's on the move. Africa is on the move. It's on the rise. We don't see this Africa in America. They're always showing us the disease-ridden locations, the starving and famine-stricken regions. They don't show us the cities, the paved roads, the hustle and bustle of the communities that are around here. And we decided that we would come and experience this ourselves. Last year, we came with Dr. Arikana Chiambori Kwao after she came on to Coffee Conversations with Greg J. and spoke about the Wakanda One City of Return that she was planning in the Cape Coast region of Ghana. We decided we would go to that trade expo. Was here for like 10 days. And when we got back, very reflective experience. When we got back, it was all about, wow, what would it be like to live day to day in Ghana? We see all over social media people packing up and leaving and going right into Ghana, establishing businesses, establishing residences. And so we decided that we would do the same. We would come and see what it would be like. Decided to come for 6 weeks, long time. Got an apartment. And as we were researching the trip, doing our due diligence for such a long time away from Long Beach, we found out that Ghana in December is a thing. It's a thing. People are coming from all over the diaspora, converging on Ghana to celebrate the festive season. Christmas lights are all over the place. And Ghana is a heavily Christian nation. So you're hearing a lot of Christmas carols. You're seeing, oh my gosh, so many TV programs with preaching and evangelism going on. You also see the young people. The young people are on the moves. They are the trendsetter of this society. Tech companies are abounding. Export companies are abounding. That's the other thing. If a lot of blackouts here, but landed about a week ago and settled into our apartment. This is the area we're in. You can see it's a very nice place, big complex. We're in a region that is very near the U.S. Embassy. In fact, this neighborhood is where all of the embassies, or most, I should say, of the embassies are located. You can walk down the street and see the French embassy is right up the road. The Libya embassy, I think I saw Argentina's embassy on this street that we're located on. The U.S. embassy is a block away. You go out the front gate here, turn left, and walk about a city block, and you'll see the ginormous complex that is the United States Embassy. Getting around is fairly easy. They've got Uber and everything like that. Jump in our Uber and we go to wherever we need to go. But the main premise of us being here is not so much tourism this time. Yeah, we want to see the sights, and you've probably already seen some of our pictures as we went to Freedom Square. We went on top of the Black Star Monument, a few other places, but it's really just to see, what it do. When we say expatriate, what does that mean to live day to day in Ghana? What's it like to have to go to the store, to the bank, to the, just everywhere, right? And so that's why we got ourselves an apartment and we're just living here. Thank God for the internet being able to, do business, continue business via online and email. The only challenge there is, there's a couple of challenges. The one challenge is the time difference. I think it's 9 o'clock Pacific time, which is when we normally will broadcast the Coffee Conversations with Greg J. It's just 5 p.m. here in Ghana. So it's end of the day here. There's a nice little cafe right down over here where we get the internet. We've already met some really cool Americans, Black people, Black Americans who have come over here. We've met the guy who's a billionaire. What's it called? Billionaire Bitcoin Club? Or anyway, he's an influencer in that cryptocurrency space. He was here for a conference, met him and his family. We visited Sunday a place that's on the outskirts of Accra called Jerk Soul, and it's owned by a brother African American from St. Louis. And in COVID, he said after COVID, he just was fed up, packed up everything, and moved to Ghana, set up his restaurant. The food and the vibe was impeccable. I mean, the brother's got it going on, and I'm sure we'll be visiting him a couple of more times before we get back to the United States. Just learning what is it to be here in Ghana. People ask, is it safe? It's one of the safest countries in the world, according to the Global Peace Index. You could tell the people are very, very low key, exceedingly friendly, easy to get around, easy to vibe with the people. So that's really, really cool. The food is impeccable. I mean, goodness, my gracious, the food has been just off the chain. Matter of fact, we're going to go to a restaurant. I'll probably send you a few pictures of this restaurant that we're going to visit tonight. A place where we want to get our food, right? A couple of things to really think about. The Ghana all over the diaspora to celebrate the festive season here in Ghana. The prices are crazy, crazy, crazy inflated. And so in terms of Ghana CDs, it's a bit expensive, right? But, so far so good. We've been able to economize and kind of figure it out. Made a few mistakes along the way, but, we're here for the adventure. We went to the Accra Fashion Week. 2 days of centers, the fashion of the as they gather together to get their knowledge in terms of seminars, in terms of fashion shows. We saw some fashions out there, great music, cool people. Was located right there at the Kwame Nkrumah traffic circle, right at where they call the Accra Dubai Circle. And that is a major freeway interchange, right? But all around that area is a major, huge, ginormous, and when I say ginormous, I mean ginormous open air market. Sometime during this trip, I'm going to take my camera and I'm going to go over there to the Dubai Circle so I can just kind of see what like to walk among the people in the open air market. It was really, really, really something to see from the car. And I bet you it's really, really something to see up close and in person as you walk amongst the people. Shopping wise, we went to ShopRite, which is a major grocery store chain here, and we got our provisions. And last night, cooked our first meal in. We've been eating out since we arrived, but first meal in. Had some rice with, I guess, seasoned with curry, chicken shawarma, and some pita bread. Thanks, Rhonda, for hooking that up. It was all delicious and good, and really cool to sit and watch TV, kick back, in the apartment. Television is a trip here. Lots of news, so we watched news just to figure out, what was going on around Ghana. And as I mentioned earlier, the economy is front and center for the people here. The strength of the dollar is really, really driving prices to a nearly unreasonable space. Gas is high. Groceries are high. Everything is high for the everyday man and woman here in Ghana. However, we did see an interview with the U.S. ambassador to Ghana, who, so the deal is this: Ghana is needing to go to the IMF to get, I guess, a loan, if you will, or some sort of financial support in order to down, bring the Ghana CD, which is their currency, to a more support whatever program Ghanaians advance to that global monetary body. And that should help the economy of Ghana stand up against what's happening in the world as the dollar becomes strong. Again, good for us because the dollar goes a long way, no question. If you really put things into perspective and some of your purchases in perspective, you can say, oh, wow, I only paid $2 for that, but you might have paid, 30 CDs for it or whatever. And so it's all perspective and balancing against the global exchange. But you have to feel for the people that are living here, the everyday man and woman that's trying to work and live here. The economy is just out of control. They have called for the resignation of the finance minister. And we watched some interviews about the Parliament is their Congress has been against her, and I guess they had a meeting when Parliament now is kind of retracting their desire to let him go, while others of the governmental body still want him to leave. And so I think it was a major step for them to go forth with the IMF interaction, because we woke up today and found a significant drop in the exchange rate in the CD. So when we got here, it was 14 or 15, almost 16 to a cedi to a dollar. And now today it's 11. And depending on where you go, the Forex exchanges and all of that, it's right around that area. And I think that we saw that movement and getting better for the Ghanaian economy. We saw that movement after the announcements that they were going to go ahead and go to the IMF, and all of this discussion about whether the finance minister needs to be, dismissed is watching that World Cup. Loves soccer, right? And so we did watch the Ghanaians, and The Ghanaians did not make it, but there were five African nations left in the World Cup. We see one African nation left, and that is Morocco. Morocco is playing France on tomorrow, Wednesday, for in the semifinal. The winner of that will go to the final. Tonight, everybody is anticipating, I think it's Argentina against Croatia. And so you'll see, just like we go to the bars and restaurants and stuff to see the football games and everything like that, it's the same for soccer, which is called football here. And we'll go and we want to see Morocco. Morocco has high hopes for Africa. Africa is rising. And since Morocco is a nation, in fact, a kingdom on the continent of Africa, Africans are, man, just really, really cheering for uh, their team that is representing the continent. Africa is rising. It's a good thing. We're going to go. I'm going to bring back some chocolate. Cocoa is they are one of the number one exporters, producers of beans, and we're a news report about the conference, and I could identify watching just that news report a lot of opportunities to import into America agricultural products from Ghana, establishing relationships with small farmers on this side and bringing products and services over to our side. I can see a very distinct trade chain, commerce chain in that area. It's just a lot of opportunity. And I think that as we begin to think and talk about building these bridges of music, arts, and culture, we want to begin to do commerce. Commerce is the way that we can help our brothers and sisters and those African descendants using the state of blackness. Africa is rich in resources, and there's all kinds of cultures over here doing business. What's stopping us? It's free for us to get. It's here for us to get. We just have to do the homework, the work that is required to be legit, right? To do business here, to make a difference, to contribute. Trade needs enough aid going on. The areas across the continent that need, the aid. But what we're exposed to in America is everybody is always showing us the famine-stricken countries, the people out in the desert where, the children with the flies crawling on them, booted from starvation and all of this. And you know what? I'm not discounting the need to help those areas like that. I am saying, though, that we need to focus on the parts of Africa that are striving and, that are rising, that are, making a difference in the world, because Africa is coming up, man. It's really, really phenomenal when you see uh, what is going on here. It's absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. It's you know, see your comments. Thank you. Hopefully, yeah, there it is. I see you, Sherry. Yes, yes, yes. She built a home here. Okay, let's talk about. So we've been investigating this, y'all. And let me just say this. The homes here are phenomenal. OMG. We're always on the huts and stuff like that. I mean, man, these homes are modern, they're beautiful, off the chain, and they're here for us to get. There's a couple of areas where a lot of expats live there. Pram Pram, East Lagoon Hills. We're in a section of Accra called Cantonments. It's a fairly upscale neighborhood, but some homes that are around here, even these apartments here, this apartment building, it's not a hotel, this is an apartment building, are very, very nice. You would be surprised based on what we are shown in America that what Africa looks like. When we went out to Jerk Soul, the restaurant owned by the brother from St. Louis, it's about an hour's drive. It's still in Accra. That's still considered Accra, but it's pretty much on the outskirts, I'd say the suburbs. Beautiful. The Aburi Mountains are right there, the hills, and oh my God, it was so, so beautiful. And I was thinking, man, I could do this for the rest of my little years I got left in this world. It's very, very nice and beautiful. The pricing reasonable again. The city there your properties dollar, we're coming out pretty strongly. Also, if you're, like me, I'm trying to figure out, okay, get over here. What would I do? Because I don't want to just sit around and be brown. I want to be active still and do some stuff. Plenty of things to do, but you just got to lock in and see what that is for yourself and how is your life going to be in Ghana should you choose to live here. What are the business opportunities? They're saying that they want American business. They want us to come and do business, but what does that look like is the question. What do you have to do in terms of intersecting with the government? What do you have to do? You don't want to get got, um, what does that look like to do business, to extend commerce in Ghana? So we're trying to find all of those answers out as we do this forensic examination into expatriation. There's a lot of expats here, a lot of brothers and sisters who just folded their stuff up in the United States and came here to Ghana. You will hear, once they hear you talk, you'll hear them say Akwaba, welcome. You'll hear them say welcome home. Oh my God, such a great feeling when that occurs, right? And you do feel home. It's a spiritual essence just to like be. You're not really worried about your blackness. You're not worried about the racism and all that. Everybody looks like us. Everything. And we can help build this nation. We can help build this region with our experiences, with our resources, with our minds, and our minds joined with the Ghanaian minds, with the West African minds. Man, that is formidable because there are some brilliant people here. The school systems are very, very strong. Africans take their education really, really seriously. And so, you know, hey, man, you can get with some good partners over here and have it going on. You know, that's what's going on in Ghana. If you'd like to travel with us, look, we are organizing a trip for July 2023. I'm going to the Panafest, which is an arts and culture festival that happens every 2 years out there in Cape Coast, Ghana. So we're going to organize a trip. You can go to Beach City Radio, beachcityradio.com, get your information about that, and join our trip. I see you, Robinson. You saying, what are you in here? Let me put my specs on. Your niece, so that's Sherry. We saw you already. Yes, I hope your niece, where's she in Accra? There's Robinson. Wow, such a long time. Yeah, it's a long time to be, but just live, and that's it. Just live, and there it is. Like I say, man, we went to the grocery store, right? And we learned a little bit about, the groceries. I mean, it was an experience because a lot of stuff you didn't know what it was, right? Like, really, you really got to study and look at the label. But, it was really a great experience to do so. Just like the seasoning, right? The salt. it's a little different, right? The salt is different, a little different taste. I guess it's not iodized like the salt we get in the United States or whatever, but it's just different. The seasonings are different. The selections that you get at the butcher shop are different. The fruit and all of that. Oh my goodness, the fruit is amazing. So, my buddy brought us a watermelon and a couple of pineapples from his garden. And the watermelon is a ginormous honking watermelon. And when we cut that baby open, I mean, let me just tell you something. The sweetness was really, really bananas. It was just really, really great. We're going to get to these pineapples soon. I mean, it's just everything is just so fresh. Everything is just so clean. And that's, what we're doing here is, you don't see the, what do you say, the GMOs inside of the meat and everything. It's just the preservatives and the processing that they do in the States on our meats and everything that doesn't really exist here. I think we learned kind of the hard way that when we bought meat, you probably should cook it that night, yeah, it's a different experience, but a learning curve nonetheless. Uh, the weather. Let me talk about the weather. I've been seeing posts where it's really cold out there in Los Angeles, Long Beach. Is the heat is crazy. It's very, very hot. It's the evening here now, so it's very, very pleasant out here right now. I think it's still in the 80s, but the humidity has broken. You can feel the breeze coming in off of the ocean, so it's very pleasant sitting out here in the courtyard of our apartment complex, doing this broadcast with you, Coffee Conversations with Greg J. But during the day, hoo-ha, we always say a term in America. We say Africa hot, right? No, dog, it's Africa hot out here. We're right along the equator, near the equator. So yeah, it's really, really hot. And I guess because of the heat and the weather is why the whole Ghana in December thing is really a big thing. And again, people are coming from all over the diaspora to come here. I met a brother from Toronto, Canada. He's a software developer. We were just kind of chopping it up. We've met a few Americans. We've seen a lot of Americans, people coming from all different nations. You're hearing the different languages. You're hearing French. You're hearing Swahili. You're hearing, Arabic. I mean, you're just, it's just really a global circumstance that we're in because people are flooding the place, Ghana in December. There's shows, there's concerts, there's parties, there's events almost every single night. Like I said, we went to the Accra Fashion Week. That was really, really fire right there. I mean, I just got to tell you, you go on our Facebook page, Coffee Conversation with Greg J. You can see a few pictures of that experience, some videos out there. The big news is, so we had gone to this coffee shop, right, called Jamestown Coffee Company. Really trendy, hip place. Coffee, had a macchiato in there, and Rhonda had a smoothie, and we were in there chilling. And, part of the marketing of entertainment is that you can go to these different places and buy tickets. So we saw the thing that WizKid, one of the biggest Afrobeats stars in the whole entire world, they were selling tickets to the event. And so was gonna buy them, but I really didn't know where it was gonna be. And so I asked the guy where it's gonna be in their ginormous soccer stadium down there in Freedom Square. So we're watching the news, entertainment news, E, yes, the African version of E, and WizKid didn't show up. The fans are pissed. He didn't show up for his own ginormous show. It was really something. I was like, wow, the supporting act showed up, but WizKid, the superstar, the star that everybody paid their money to see, did not show. So that's the thing. We're thinking about going to Afrochella. I really wanted to go to that. Burna Boy is going to be there. That's at the end of the month. I'm trying to decide if that's what we want to do. Again, you have to pick and choose. Things can be expensive, so we're just trying to see, how do we balance that, you know, I guess I'm going to end up going just so I can say I was there. Yes, we're near the airport. You can hear the planes taking off here. About once an hour, you see a flight leaving out of here, going to points wherever they're going. But yeah, Afrochella is the 28th and 29th at the end of the year. Um, it's Ghana in December, the festive season. People are here from all over the diaspora, and we're just here trying to figure it out. What is it like to be an expatriate? So far, so good. We're having a great time. Um, we're just moving at the speed of our own, doing. Living in an apartment, going around the corner to a store, Ubering all over the city where we need to go, checking out the sights, checking out the sounds, being black in Ghana. This is Coffee Conversations with Greg J, where we talk about culturally relevant topics from a global perspective. And that's why we're here, live from Ghana, Accra, Ghana. We're going to continue to do some broadcasts and let's take some pictures and keep posting them because we're going to go out to the Cape Coast. We're trying to get a trip up to Kumasi, where the king, the Ashanti king, is. That's going to be pretty exciting. That's where the gold is. So I hope maybe I can grab some Ghanaian gold up there, right? Get us on our Facebook page, Coffee Conversations with Greg J. You can like that. We're on YouTube. It's my personal page, Greg J. You can go Hannibal the Radio there. You see the playlist. That's Coffee Conversations with Greg J. Like and subscribe it to that playlist so that you can be notified of when we do post live videos from wherever we are in the world, whatever topics we are discussing. Do that, please, for me. Help me grow our audience out there at YouTube. We're also on LinkedIn, so follow us at LinkedIn. Some of you are watching via LinkedIn. Thank you so much for that. We're out here just sharing information, sharing inspiration, pointing out innovation. I saw the CEO of this apartment building, right? So I guess a big realty company owns it. Black woman. I was so proud to see her, walk through, sisters doing things, here. So sisters, keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head high, keep striving, because all over the world, sisters are doing the doggone thing. And that's what I was really, really glad to see. I'm really glad to see the young people out here doing it. Young people, come on, man, keep doing it. Keep doing it, I'm just trying to link up with y'all, and share knowledge of my experiences with the young people. And you can see that happening here in Africa. It's really, really something. So that's it. Rambling on, having a conversation with you live from Accra, Ghana. Remember to love one another. Love one another. Love one another. Peace and blessings.